Some came in the mail today.
Yeah, I did.
These got him!
This is literally going to take me 1, maybe 2 periods to teach you perfect competition. But you guys don't want to do that. All you want to do is waste time. You are wasting time. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Will you please just listen? All right. Perfect competition has 5 attributes.
Where am I? The last thing I remember was Mr. Fagan lecturing the same old boring microeconomics topic. Could I have slept that long in class? Nah, this must be a prank. Hello? Is anybody there? Who's there? Hello, who are you?
I am Virgil.
Where am I?
You are in the dark woods outside the land of perfect competition. Here exist all attributes of a perfectly competitive market. Fagan sent me to guide you. Come with me.
So perfect competition is the first market structure in which there are many buyers and sellers selling identical products.
Perfect competition. That's the topic Mr. Fagan was talking about.
Yes, in this journey you will learn the 5 attributes of perfect competition. So, the only way to get out of the land of perfect competition is through the game master. You must correctly answer 5 questions.
So, the first attribute is the many buyers and sellers selling identical products.
Here is no place for you, child.
Here is a place for all. So what makes a perfectly competitive market is that there are many buyers and sellers, each selling the same product. So now, take these 2 sellers over here. They are both selling red apples. Can you go and take and see if there's any difference between these 2 apples? Exactly, because they are both selling homogeneous products, which means that they're identical in every way. Now look at these apples. Can you tell me who made them?
No.
Exactly, because nature made them.
So what you're saying is that anything made by nature is homogeneous.
Yeah.
So in a perfectly competitive market, there are many sellers selling the same product, and you can't tell them apart or who made it.
Exactly. I believe we've learned all that we can from this place. Let's go on to the next one. So, the next attribute is that perfectly competitive firms have little market share and little market control.
Greed is good. Greed is accepted.
Here is no place for greed, for there are many. So, now because in a perfect competition, there are many buyers and sellers, this brings us to our next point,
that in a perfect competition, is little market share and little market control. Have a seat. So, market share is a percentage of sales earned by an individual firm compared to the total industry percentage. So, because in a perfect competition there are many firms in the industry, the money one firm makes compared to the money made by the whole industry is very small. So, let's take the socks industry over here. There are 5 firms in this industry. Let's say the whole industry makes $4. That means each firm in that market makes about 80 cents or 20% of the whole profit. Now, do you understand that?
Because of the main firms in a perfect competition, each firm can't really make that much total sales, seeing that they don't make that much money individually.
Yeah. Now the same thing applies to the attribute of little market control. Market control is the ability for buyers and sellers to influence the price or quantity. In a perfect competition, if the firm decides to increase the price or quantity, it will not affect the industry. So now let's take these 5 firms again. If one firm, let's say, decides to increase their profit by 20 cents, the other firms will choose not to because they have little market control.
What if the firm decides to reduce their price?
Good question. Now, if that happens, the other firms will also choose to reduce their prices. But after a short period of time, the prices will return back to normal. This is because the firms will be unable to cover their costs of production at such a low price.
This is pretty understandable stuff. I don't know why I had a difficult time learning this.
You didn't trust in the method, that's why. Can we move on?
Yeah.
So, the next attribute of a perfect competition is that both the buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the product being sold.
I am the source of all knowledge.
You are a library. Every buyer in a perfect competition knows the information about the product being sold, as well as the prices relative to their location. So let's take this buyer over here. He wants to buy some socks.
There are 3 firms that sell socks in his area. If all sell socks at the same price, the buyer, because he knows all the firms in his area sell the socks at the same price, will go to the one closest to him. Because the sellers also have perfect knowledge, they will know that that one seller has lowered his prices and they might also lower theirs.
So basically, the buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge as to the price offered relative to their location.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. So the next and the last attribute of a perfectly competitive firm is that there is little to no barriers to entry or exit. Now, remember all the things you learned in the previous doors because the gate master is coming up soon. So you'll be asked the 5 questions.
I am. You know what? Just go in.
So, in a perfect competition, there are little barriers to entry or exit. That means if you want to open a, let's say, sock firm, you can.
And if at any time you want to decide to, let's say, stop selling the stock, you can do so because there is little to no barriers to exit. Exactly. The reason there is little to no barriers to exit or entry is that because the factors of production to enter a perfectly competitive firm are easily attainable.
So that concludes the 5 attributes of a perfect competition. Now it's time to see the game master.
You seem to be a fast learner. And if that's the case, you shouldn't have been in this land in the first place. But what's done is done. I assume Virgil has told you how this part goes?
Yes, he has.
Great! Are Jordan sneakers sold in perfect competition?
No, because Jordan sneakers are not investable products, and they can be traced back to the producer.
It seems like you've learned a little something on your journey. Next question. Assume we're both in a perfectly competitive industry, selling the same product. If I decide to lower my price, what will happen after a period of time?
After a period of time, the prices will go back to the way they were before you increased it. Because when you lower your price, I lower mine. But at this low price, we will not be able to make a profit or cover our costs. So the price will return to their original value.
Correct again. Next question. Would I be able to reduce my prices or increase the efficiency of my firm without your knowledge?
No, because buyers and sellers have common knowledge to the prices and production efficiency of each firm relative to the location. So if you lower your prices and increase your productivity, I will know.
You're catching on, aren't you? Next question. Can I enter a perfectly competitive industry?
Yes, because the factors needed to enter a perfectly competitive industry are easily attainable.
Correct. Last question. What are you going to do from now on to make sure that you don't ever end up here again?
I'm going to start trusting the method because Mr. Fagan gets paid $8 million to teach microeconomics. And who else is better to learn it from?